Hello, and welcome to another episode of playing Crusader Kings 3 using the hardest possible difficulty settings. Starting as a landless adventurer focusing on stewardship and the 867 start date. It's our second episode. The first one went relatively well. Built up some gold, built some of the buildings we wanted to in our camp, and we'll continue here shortly. But as this is the start of the episode, I want to take a look around and sort of see what the political landscape looks like, in particular, if there are any scourge conquerors around us. And obviously, you see the answer to that is yes. That Sigurdur Snake in the Eye, who starts here in Denmark, has become a scourge conqueror. He does have the scourge-of-the-gods trait. See, he hasn't conquered that much yet. He's got Sweden. I think his brother over here, Bjorn Ironside, seems to have taken him over. Not sure if Bjorn's still around or yeah. But he also has somewhat strangely he has a bit of Germany here, but it'll be interesting to see where he goes. Also rather strange is I guess almost Arpad lost his war to invade Hungary, so no Magyars in Hungary. We continue to have this big Bulgaria here, and let's take a look just to see what other conquerors are around. So you see the Chola Empire, that person starts as a conqueror. They're the only person that starts with a conqueror trait in 867, so he's always going to be a conqueror. And talked a bit about at the beginning of last episode about what makes 867 challenging playing in Europe is there are often multiple scourge conquerors. You can see in addition to Sigurdur from Denmark, we also have Constantin of Alba here, who is himself a scourge conqueror. So it could be quite likely that he starts heading south and forms the Empire of Britannia, I should say. And then Sigurdur, we'll have to see what he does. Could form Scandinavia. But one of the advantages of us being a landless adventurer is we don't have to worry about that. Talked before about how 867 is, I think, the most challenging start date for playing this rule set. And because of that, I wanted to play the easiest possible start. And I think this sort of character where you're a landless adventurer, you're focusing on stewardship, and so you can really build up your gold. That this is probably the one of the easiest possible starts, at least. I don't know if it's necessarily the, but it would be up there. And then, again, talked about before in some of my prior series. Really want to start with some of the easier starts in playing this difficulty level, and then as hopefully I do well on those, we'll continue to go on to more challenging starts. Visit the castle holding again, see if it's off cooldown. It is not. So we will go out for another contract. That one looks good. We are focusing on stewardship, and we have some buildings that really increase our gold from stewardship contracts as well as our stewardship lifestyle experience. So very helpful and important. So we want to focus on stewardship contracts here. Let's go up to the second level of pavilion. I want to build a barber's tent, partly because there's a useful sub-building, so to speak, if I can do that, under the barber's tent. Also, We're playing on Doomsday plague levels, so Barber's Tent is quite useful simply to avoid getting plague and having our main character die or having our camp followers die. Don't really care about the Hermit. I think we've spent about 600 prestige now on getting stuck in the snow. I guess Marshall. None of these are that great for me. So you got some free provisions. I mean, we're close to the max amount of provisions, so don't think we need to recruit anyone at the moment. Guess let's try this Eager Explorer contract. Seems like everyone wants to go to Turin. Turn off Scout for Talent for now because we're going to Turin. It's in the Alps. Want to decrease the danger from going into the Alps. Finish off these two trees in the stewardship lifestyle before we think about anything else. We did go to university recently, but unfortunately did not manage to fully upgrade our education. We did get some extra perks. You know, things are generally okay. Scholarly work. While we are primarily stewardship, we are secondarily a scholarship character of quite high learning, so I'm happy to do those. We're very likely going to go to this grand tournament once we are done with the visit to the castle holding here. Probably should also start checking out temples to build up some piety. One of the things that we want to do really as soon as we can is to start founding holdings. So we need at least 3 of these to be true, one of them being getting our level of devotion to devoted servant. Also, our level of fame up to illustrious, we should get that very soon. Probably be a while before we get to architect, and getting into 1,000 gold is something that we probably could do, but it would help to get our piety up. So we don't need that. Let's get Scout for Talent instead. And that looks good. High stakes bartering. You can see our gold just jumping up here as we go through the various baronies. Like how we get a perk in wandering before we even get the traveler trait. It seems quite odd, but okay. So here, really want to go for been there, done that. To, get eventually. Really want to increase our score here as much as we can, and grand tournaments just can be very powerful in terms of getting a decent amount of gold, getting a lot of prestige, and of course getting artifacts that can be quite useful. Because I want to increase my score as much as I can, I usually bounce between Turning Grounds and the Temple. The Temple has some very useful events in terms of getting renown or getting a modifier that increases your lifestyle experience, both of which are very useful. I'd rather not lose any gold, even if it's not very much. Let's see here. Guessing I'm not going to win this, but who knows? I guess I did. Let's see what I got here. You see, 150 prestige, 15 gold. Got, prize rings, not terribly great, but okay, let's stop. Might as well equip it. Let's take a slightly different route just so we hit some different holdings. Still see our gold just increasing there. Not sure if I'll ever go to Canterbury. People want to get married, that's fine. Now we will build the barber's tent. Yep. So probably righteousness here. Yes, she's inexpensive. She has good stewardship and learning, so have her join. See here if we can cash in some hooks. Okay, we're building the barber's tent. All right. I think we'll do some more of these contracts, and maybe I will visit a city holding, see about getting some artifacts that increase our prowess, which may make some of these other contracts easier to do. But as for now, we'll take on this learning contract here. Go with the 5 chapters, since with our high stewardship, we should be able to complete most of them at a high level. Do the stewardship ones also gets us more gold, which is really our main goal here, is to get as much gold as we can. Even got additional learning point. So didn't want to take the chance of dying there, even though it's very low. We'll go to collect taxes, and then after we come back, we will probably go to a city holding and see about buying some artifacts. So here, just looking for the highest percentage chance, which is almost always going to be to use our stewardship, except for this, where it's learning. So yep, make them pay in full. We'll visit the city holding first, and we'll check out that grand tournament. Okay, cannot. So most of these are still on cooldown, but let's see about the craftsman here. That's a nice sword, plus 10 prowess. It's expensive, unsurprisingly, but let's get it. Armor, not great options. I mean, I guess we get to get that masterwork armor. Again, it's quite expensive, but so now we have quite a bit higher prowess. 32 is quite good. Well, we're not going to make it in time for him. All right. So I guess let's go to these stewardship schemes since we get the most gold from them. Want to have our scout for talent, high stakes bartering on. Let's go visit the temple. Or I say visit, let's move our camp to the temple and visit the church. So again, intrigue, criminal contracts we don't want to do. We'll take traveling instead. Some tiny amount of provisions. Really need to recruit that much. So we'll go with church grounds, which are new. We could get this pouch for the health boost. Guess we will. So, a blessing of peace here is very powerful. I will certainly get that. Then don't need either stress relief or provisions, but I guess might as well grab some provisions. We will equip our new artifact here. Our character is quite powerful, so higher his health, the longer he lives, the better we are. All right. curious if we've done anything to get to Knight of the Swan. Done 2, so that's not... Oh, yeah, it requires the swords for hire camp purpose. Oh, that's unfortunate. So it probably doesn't really matter too much what righteousness contracts we do. I mean, we could switch to it and come back. But more interesting is found a holding. We have 2, so it's really devotion that we're looking for. We could take a pilgrimage after we get some more gold. It's not the worst idea, I don't think. And we can make a lot of gold on pilgrimage using high stakes bartering. All right. Yeah, it's just not great chances by embellishing it. If it was like 67 or more, then I might do it, but I think the chances I lose are too high. Go to the stewardship contract. We can finish quite easily. Now we'll look for some more contracts. I assume no one wants to pay me lots of gold yet. No, looks like everyone is still quite poor in, you know, this start date, at least this area. Okay. We'll do camp revelry once our current building ends. One thing that camp revelry can get you is a free building. It's obviously very powerful. Let's go transcribe these texts instead. We can come back, we can visit the holding and then do a camp revelry. I guess we'll take the piety, since we want piety, and also don't want to become a criminal. Okay, so probably be doing the same thing here that we just did. I guess we could take the chance and see what happens. Oh, it worked. Okay, that's good. Again, just taking a look at the political situation. What's causing me to pause is Lotharingia became Bavaria, despite the fact that, I mean, Bavaria is over here. I'm not quite sure how that happened, but okay. I guess he inherited Lotharingia. So this guy, yeah. So yeah, I guess probably happened is the king of Lotharingia. The prior one died without any legitimate heirs. I don't even know what happened here. There's a Carling who's supposed to be in here. That is weird. So how is he? Okay, well, whatever. Because I think there's like Lothair II starts as a king of Lotharingia, but he's not showing up here, which is very odd. He starts as the king of Lotharingia in 867, but anyway, it's not worth thinking about. Okay, so first we will visit the holding, then we will do camp revelry. Don't want. Wonder if we Where is his capital even? Eichstatt. Okay, oh, so he does have this tiny bit of Bavaria over here, and then the rest of his realm is over here. Okay, so I do see. All right, fair enough. Maybe let's go back to castle holding and see if that improves anything in terms of the contracts we can get. I doubt it, but let's check. Diplomacy, it's not really our area. I guess we'll just pass for now. All right. Maybe we'll do some traveling here. Go with the one that pays more. Should be a very easy trip. I think I meant to hold a camp revelry, but forgot, but I will do that now. Okay, we can get better food. I think recreation is still what we want here. Cost a bit more, but that's okay. We will get the prestige. We get more, increase our level of fame, really. Guess we'll go with Perrin since he's younger. Probably doesn't matter too much which one we go with there. Sure. Interesting questions. Better to have him. I mean, even though he's old, he is in fine health. I guess let's get him as a follower. Not having much luck in getting the special events. So here, what we want is this reference corpus. Speeds up learning contracts, and also gives learning lifestyle experience if we go that way. So things that are quite helpful there. Let's see if we can get some different contracts. Organization, yes, that's good. So we want that. Okay, just a terrible character. I mean, I guess I only care if she comes with our camp or not. Her stats are all quite poor. 25, so getting to the point where I'd want to start looking for a wife. Let's do these stewardship contracts, and then maybe after that we'll think about a pilgrimage somewhere. depending on how expensive it is and how much gold we have. Sure. Again, we'll just go with the balance. This should be very quick, given our very high stewardship. It was. Just want to see about demanding payments from anyone. We'll go down and get this. Raise this building as well here. Have scout for talent, high stakes bartering. Always want those on. And once again, this should be easy. For my character, it is what he specializes in. Self-move Muhammad of El Angeles. I mean, this would probably get me a good amount of gold from high stakes bartering. It's quite dangerous, though. I think unfortunately it's just too dangerous to do. I guess Marshall. And again, ideally we're looking for stewardship and learning. You know, transport's also fine. Are building up quite a number of prowess and martial contracts here. I think let's take this transport one. Again, man, they love Turin. I don't know. Not sure why all the people here want to go to Turin, but they do. Again, we'll get Pathfinder's gear to reduce danger in the mountains, because the mountains are very dangerous. The Alps. I still do not have the Traveler trait, which is quite surprising. Here, I just don't want to take the risk of dying, especially since I don't want to have an heir. All right, so what should I build next in my camp? We could build the pavilion. Yeah, I probably want to upgrade the pavilion next. But I think the pavilion does give what? Does give some travel safety. Let's see how much a pilgrimage would be. Could just start with the easy one here. So Don't need Pathfinder gear. We will take Scout for talent. Let's go ahead and become a pilgrim. Just keep the base level of pomp. Again, we want as much piety and to make our pilgrimage as pious as we can. Do the pilgrim trait, which increases travel speed and safety, so that's helpful given all the traveling we do. Don't want to lose my book. We'll just increase the piousness. We're getting close to you get what you pay for, which is even more gold from contracts, so that's very useful. We're not yet up to devoted servant, which again we want to get for found a holding. We need 3 of them. If we get devoted servant, then we can start building the holdings. So we want to get there if we can soon. Let's see what sort of contracts we can get, and if there aren't good ones, we may go on another pilgrimage. Go with righteousness, even though we have to switch camp purposes to become a Knight of the Swan, as we saw earlier. Always want to hear a story. Would be nice if I could recruit a wife from tavern, but not sure it's going to happen. So this, I think the second option is kind of obvious here. He's a Badouin, looks like a good character. If we can recruit him for free, hard to see the downside of it. Okay, let's see if we can join this tournament. We can. Oh boy. There's always the chance you die in wrestling. Now we'll see how it goes. Finally. Man. Took forever. We've done an awful lot of traveling. I mean, I don't... I just love the third option there. He's just not that good, right? I mean, I guess we can get him for some provisions. Oh boy. I don't know. I guess we can train him. I mean, I'm not really sure. Should be able to win that bet. Okay, let's see how this goes. I usually don't bother trying to sabotage anyone. Just no reason to get caught. This guy's kind of far away. Hell, guess he doesn't. I don't care that much if he dislikes me. So we'll take the opinion hit with him to increase our score. We did win, which is good. Don't want to replace our current somewhat cool nickname with a negative nickname, so we'll just keep the shrewd. And we won anyway, thankfully. Okay, we'll take that 95% option there. Again, just looking for whatever increases our score the most. What did I win? In terms of an artifact, I guess we'll have to wait till the next screen. Another prize ring, almost identical. I think literally identical to the other one. Which isn't that great. That's okay. Sure, we'll take the piety. Let's cash in some of our hooks here. Now we're really getting a good amount of gold. I guess what we need is some more piety. I think we'll visit the... No, can't make that. Grand Tournament. I think we could visit Canterbury, and that should give us enough to become devoted servant, and then we can start building holdings. As for now, we will visit this castle holding. Traveling is good. Not having luck on finding someone who would be a good wife in the tavern, which is probably a general lesson there. Where are my traveling contracts? I thought I asked for some... I thought we got some transport contracts, but I guess not. At least not that I see. Maybe we need to complete some of our numerous prowess and martial contracts first. But anyway, let's go on a pilgrimage to Canterbury, I think. Go with a little more pomp. We'll take off Scout for talent and do experienced captains, just because I'm paranoid about drowning. Again, we don't have an heir yet, so drowning would be very bad. It'd literally be a game over. Let's see if we can go visit a whole bunch of points of interest. Should give us a lot of gold. Gives a lot of gold. Also, there's a decision that gives you an extremely powerful book. That's based partly, or based solely on the points of interest you visited. Let's try to avoid going anywhere that's too dangerous, though. So by visiting, racking up these points of interest on Offa's Dyke, we get more toward that decision. Also gets us lots of gold from visiting points of interest because of our perks. So I think this works. Maybe we go with zealotry even, so that we have more opportunities to get piety. Yeah. Okay. And just, yeah, so this, see how it's done here. Visiting a point of interest gives us 20 gold, so you should get a lot of piety and gold from this trip, which obviously are two very good things. This guy, he's pretty good, actually. I guess we'll just take him. Spend a little bit of gold to get the piety. Okay, so we already are now at devoted servant. So when we come back, we will start looking into building castle holdings, which again we should collect rents from. after they're built. And that should get us a lot more gold. Get more prestige there, because again, if we're looking to buy land, I think the higher our level of fame is, the more likely someone's willing to sell us land, the better land we can get. Specifically, we could get an entire duchy title or something of that nature. How good is comfortable trappings? All right, fine. Guess it's worth it. And now we have you get what you pay for. Very useful. And just the decision I was talking about here for this book is this one. Oh wow, I visited 75 points of interest. I am surprised. I would not have guessed I visited that many. You can also see how much our gold has jumped up on this journey. I mean, for 15 gold, I think he's worth getting. Yeah, that's just a ton of renown to lose, and we'll just... Let's see here, what do we want? I guess pedagogy for whenever we eventually find a wife and have children. Have a real heir. England ruled by King Alfred the Great, though for some reason he's not yet the Great. Again, Alba, Denmark, both scourge conquerors. They're doing surprisingly little at the moment. Well, I mean, Alba's done some conquering, but Denmark just not really doing a whole lot. Not sure why. Maybe it's because I don't know. I'm surprised they haven't attacked like East Francia. I mean, Denmark should just blow out East Francia. I don't know. Always, maybe he's focusing on Scandinavia first. Always hard to know exactly what the AI is up to. Okay, I've got more than enough. Piety. So we could just found a holding here. I mean, might as well, frankly. Not sure it makes a huge... I mean, let's see here. The development of the county. So you'll pay dividends based on the development of the county. All right, so let's take a look to see where all right, development. I mean, Valois isn't bad. It could go down to Rome. Yeah, otherwise, I mean, I think Valois actually looks pretty good in terms of average development for where we are. So, yeah, let's go ahead and build found our holding there. And I think it's like a 5-year cooldown on those. You know, you get some options to build buildings in there and so forth. So that first looks very, yeah, we'll go with that first one. The stress reduction is good. I think we don't have, oh, we do have enough money. Okay, we'll go ahead and upgrade the pavilion. Again, see if we can get any gold here. Doesn't look like it. Let's visit the castle holdings, see if we can get some stewardship contracts. We can, so definitely do that. See if we can get some supplies. Story. Oh, we are not having much luck in finding a potential wife. Okay. Yeah, I mean, part of it might be because these are like mostly barons and mayors. I mean, certainly if we wanted to build up an army, we could do that quite quickly. I think there's also a decision that if you, yeah, for completing 50 contracts, which we would have a ways to go. Okay. Anyway, so let's do our stewardship contracts here. And we know that the cooldown for visiting the castle holding is not going to be reset, so we'll go raise this building instead. Again, balanced. This should be very quick. If they're friends, that's fine with me. So we'll try to hold a camp revelry after our current building is done. Okay, we still haven't finished the cooldown yet. Let's see if there's a prowess contract we can go grab. So we do have a high prowess. Rescue a fair subject. You know, you can find someone often with a beauty trait from doing this, which, you know, I'd rather have someone with an intelligence trait, but still worth doing this. I think we'll go with the overshot water wheels. Really, it's a lot of gold, but hopefully it will increase the dividends we receive by a commensurate amount. You know, what that feral kid gets is not man, that's quite a bit. In terms of the what I've heard is often in these buildings you can only really get one improvement. I don't know if that's correct though. I wouldn't want the concentric castle to overwrite the water wheels we just paid for. That's my only concern there. And also that it's just a lot of piety. I guess let's do it, and when the holding is built, we'll take a look if it has both those concentric, both the water wheel and the concentric walls. I don't know that I want to get dwarf bred into my dynasty, but if she wants to come with us, great. We will find a wife somehow here. Talked before about we want to get to been there, done that. It really gives a lot of benefits for points of interest. Let's see about visiting a castle holding, if particularly we can get any more contracts suitable for us, which we really could not. We ended up with more. Yeah, we're sort of obviously we're a bit in debt here. We should be able to fix that quickly, but still want to be a bit careful in terms of spending gold at the moment. You can see we just got more and more martial and prowess contracts here instead of the stewardship contracts we would want. So we will go to this grand tournament. Again, because we're crossing the Alps, we want to make sure that we are prepared and reduce the chances of our characters dying. We'll hit up these points of interest on the way out. Again, high stakes bartering so we can get the gold for traveling there. I think that all looks good. We have finished our pavilion. This is where we're building our castle here, and Kuchi, or Kusi, however it's pronounced. We'll increase our score. Again, generally don't try to sabotage people just because of the risk of getting caught. And often, they're not with this character, but often with the personality traits I have, trying to sabotage someone creates stress. Though again, not a factor here. Did win, which is very good. 50 gold, that's quite good. Happy to get it. Bow, that's probably not as good as our current very good. I think it's a mace we have that has like plus sword, it has plus 10 prowess, which is quite surprising for a green sword. Okay, good, we won the duel. Yeah, we're already out of debt, which is good. Probably because of winning the duel and high stakes bartering and our other see how it's done, which gives us gold. So it's getting a lot of gold here. See where we are in terms of traveler experience. It's getting there. Sure, will be a witch. Provide some good benefits, and I can probably start a witch coven. Since, I mean, I am the only person in my dynasty at the moment. You know, we'll be looking to change that soon. Scholarly work looks like the best option for us. I was hoping maybe she had some genetic traits, but she doesn't. I wonder if there is say an intelligent woman in someone's court. We could go to that court and try to do some contracts for them, and then okay, I guess there are just very few genius or intelligent women in the vicinity. Let's hold our camp revelry now. Obviously not traveling anywhere, but just change those for next time we do travel. That sword is not very good. None of these are really all that good, frankly. So we'll take the bottom option. Okay, that looks like a good option there. Yeah, let's just take that top option, get that nice chunk of prestige, closer level of fame, get some gold. Oh, that's good. Almost certainly going to be going for that top option here. Let's see, what does Warm and Content do? Come on. Oh, that's good. Yep, let's give it a shot here. Okay, didn't get it, but that's okay. Yeah, Shrewd is very powerful, just +2 to all stats. So it says we got a new contract, which could be this one. Again, we'll go for all 5 chapters. Our stewardship, really helps with that. We get plenty of gold with each decision, assuming we succeed. So far, we're 3 of 3. 3 of 4 now. 3 of 5. Well, whatever. So we know the cooldown for visiting the castle holding isn't going to be reset, so we'll just go on to our next contract. And again, it's the same contract we just did. Wow, there's not an opportunity for to use stewardship, but let's go with the pilgrimages. There's stewardship. Stewardship again. Guess we'll use learning. And then stewardship. So for this last one, I think we just get the mess tent. And the other option would be camp perimeter. And I think the mess tent has better sort of sub buildings under it. I know if we really wanted to, we could get the camp perimeter and then go to China for a university visit and hit every point of interest on the way. But I don't think I'm going to do that. So I think let's just get the mess tent, and then we can start building up uh, each of them as we see fit. Let's check to see if the cooldowns have reset. Yes, they have. Of course, we want stewardship contracts if we can get them, which we could there. Just looking for the highest percentage chance of success here, which is most certainly going to be to use my stewardship. Okay, a couple of grand tournaments we could join, both only with one. Decent prizes, prizes of good quality. I guess we'll go with the prizes of good quality. Okay, I am 30, so really we need to start looking for a wife. So I don't. Well, I guess we'll take less for land in case we need to. I mean, the plan is not for us to conquer land, but most likely to buy it, or to use the champion the Dutch culture decision and get some Dutch land. But it could be that that we will need to fight for our land, so getting the less for land trait modifier could be helpful. So that's why I went with that one. All these melee, we're just really trying to get what increases our score the most, and we did win, shockingly enough. Melee is always a coin flip, so it's just a matter of luck. Got some. I think that prize armor is better than we currently have. At least has higher prowess, I believe. It's pretty close, really. Happy to give this guy some provisions to become our chief cook. Should be able. Nope. Okay, well, hopefully. All right, good wound treatment there. Let's see more grand tournaments we could go to. Let's see how our holding is coming. 21 months left. Okay, so we aren't going to make that one. Could make this one. Geldern. Let's take a look at the political situation. Okay, so now we see that Alba and Denmark are making some moves here. Wales is also a great conqueror. I'm guessing he will be swallowed up by Alba, though. The Tahirids, aren't they relatively close? No, they are not. So, we've got what? 7 great conquerors on the map. Okay. The Zubu Mongols. And so, again, one of the big benefits of being, or at least starting as landless, is we get to see how the political situation shakes out before we decide where we want to get land. Here, I think we'll get mobile brewers, gold, follower opinion, plague resistance, chief forager. It's okay. We'll just start, building up what we have here. Okay, let's see, did we... Transport contracts. Since, yeah, just not... Not having a lot of luck here in terms of finding someone to be our wife. It's getting to the point where we need to get someone regardless of whether she has great stats or not. So I think from here on out, let's really look into finding a suitable, or even a not very suitable wife for that matter. Just anyone we can to to marry and make sure that we can further our dynasty. Just looking, because this is Holland is a territory we could potentially at some point take over. I think most of these only have, these duchies only have 3 counties, which is less than ideal, but it's okay. You'd rather have a county with a lot of, sorry, rather have a duchy with a lot of counties in it, but that's not available. That's okay. Let's go sell this boundary dispute since it's a stewardship contract and that's our specialty. Sure, we can go up to this grand tournament. Probably should have done that earlier. So definitely want to recruit her. I guess the question is, is this our wife? I don't know. Uh, 99% chance of success, so we'll take that to call her out on her cheating. Same thing, 99% chance of success. And we won. We have a nice chunk of prestige, almost exalted among men. I think that's literally the third identical prize ring we've received, so. This will make him just. It doesn't really matter, I hope. Okay. Let's visit the castle holding. So we can get here. I guess we'll get some righteousness. Maybe we can get a wife that way. Okay, we aren't having great success getting wife other ways. I guess let's recruit that guy. He is intelligent. Obviously recruiting him costs a chunk of gold, but worth doing. Okay, and I think let's call this episode here. Thanks very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. I think things are going relatively well. We're still waiting for the political situation to sort itself out. Hopefully once that happens, we can get some land. We're only 31. I would say, I talked before about I'd like to have some land by the time this character is around 50 or so. Yeah, to start developing it. But generally I think things are going the right path, and this is playthroughs are going as expected. And I hope you will join me for the next episode. Thanks very much, and goodbye.